Alright, so this video is going to be super rambly. Simultaneously a lot and not a lot has happened this week, but I just had this moment, and it is probably definitely the most important thing that has happened this week, so I feel like I need to talk about it, and it also led to this discussion that I want to have about, worldviews and just personal views I have that contradict each other and don't line up. And that idea kind of ties in with the moment I just had, and so they both match up and line together, and I want to talk about them both, but I don't know with which one to start, so I'm sorry in advance if this video is particularly rambly and stream of consciousness and not well thought out. So you all know my rule of thumb on hating people, and the three people I say I hate the most. And I just had this moment with Matt Skirmerhorn, third runner-up of the Not My Favorite Person award. This part of the video is going to be weird because I have to walk a tightrope because it's not my place to air other people's dirty laundry, and I don't know how much of the situation I'm allowed to discuss because it involves a lot of people, sort of, kind of, by proxy. But basically a thing happened, and I know it's one of those situations where no one is in the right place, everyone is kind of at fault, and hey, Arthur and I can relate to that, aren't we, right? And it's one of those things where there's a lot of bad, but there is a positive, and I can't really get into that positive on the internet, but I know that if I was in Matt's shoes, I would feel fucking so beyond terrible, and I know in that moment you kind of need someone to say, hey, it's not your fault. And I did, and I'm not going to get into all of what I said, because again, I can't, but then he called me up almost immediately after I sent the message, and he was crying and thanking me and telling me it's just what he needed to hear. And I feel like this is just kind of a important moment in defining who I am as a person and a character beat, because it's simultaneously kind of weird that I would do that for someone I hate, and at the same time it's kind of not. And I get into kind of worldviews I have that are contradictory, because you all know that I'm not a very forgiving person. I don't believe forgiveness is just something that you should hand out. It's something you should earn. But at the same time, you should just do a good thing. That should be all the justification you need to do a good thing. It is as simple as that. Just do a good thing. And I do believe that you should do good things, because that sends positive energy out into the ether and just makes the world a better place. And that is the most fucking hippie thing I have ever said or thought. And I had that thought so long ago, and I've never shared that before. You're all welcome. And just do a good thing, I don't know how well that lines up with not believing you should just hand out forgiveness, or because then the argument would be, well, wouldn't forgiving someone be a good thing? And I always feel like, well, just if you're just gonna blindly give forgiveness, it's an inherently selfish thing, because you're doing it to feel better, or to say, look, I am being the bigger person, I could forgive this person even though they don't deserve it. And I don't feel like that's a good thing, and I guess that's just my way to justify it, kind of. And more into the conflicting worldviews, there's the you shouldn't cross an ocean for someone who wouldn't cross the street for you, and no, you should love people. You should just love people without hesitation or reservation and with everything you are. But at the same token, recognize that there are such things as unhealthy relationships and people who will take advantage of your kind-hearted nature. And it's weird. And ain't it weird that I'm yeah, no, help people and love people with everything. And I'm man, I hate people. I talk about people I hate all the time, and I don't really know how to end this video or what the point is, I guess. I just kind of feel like this is a big moment in my growth as a person and helping define who I am as a person. It's a big moment in my season overall, and kind of helps me put a stamp on hey, look, I am a good person, because I struggle with that, because most of the time I'm I'm a good person, and other times I'm no, I'm a shit person. And maybe it's just I can be both, because human beings are complex.